Hi, this is Dave Chanel with Skylight Systems, and in this video I'm going to take you through security in SideKick365 xRM Enterprise. I'm going to show you how it works and the effect it has as you log in with different usernames and passwords. So let's get started. The first thing to notice is that when I'm logged in as a particular user, I've given access to certain accounts, contacts, and opportunities based upon my login credentials that I use for getting into the app. So let's look at accounts. This user is logged in as Alan Steiner, and Alan has a security profile associated with his name that has certain accounts, opportunities, and contacts associated with that particular security profile. Let's go and take a look. So when I open up an account, I'll notice that there's a value in the profile field right here in this account. And this value is what determines who can see this particular account and all the opportunities, tasks, notes, documents associated with it. Now let's go in and take a look at those profiles. I'm going to switch over now to the administrative login and do a deeper dive into this. So let's look at some of those profiles that have been set up. There's the Alan S profile and the Brad S profile, and we'll open one of those up. They're not too exciting in these screens, but what they will show you is that there's a title, a read group, and an edit group. And what this means is that there is a group of people associated with this profile that can only read items that have been assigned this profile, and another group that can edit and read it. And the question you're probably asking is, okay, where do I create these groups? So I'm back here at the home page of SideKick365 xRM Enterprise, logged in as the admin. And you'll see I don't have any open tasks or opportunities because I don't have anything assigned to me as an admin. But I'm going to pop up to the site that hosts the app. And when I do that, I'm going to go into the site settings. I'm going to look at a few things here. And I'm going to look at the people and groups. And one thing you'll see is that I have different groups set up in SharePoint that are used for security. I have an Alan S edit group, and I have an Alan S read, a Brad S edit, a Brad S read. Let's open one of those up. So you can see the people that belong to this group. There's Alan Steiner, there's Amy Alberts, and then there's the admin. And what this means is that when this profile is applied to an item in SideKick365 xRM, and that group has been associated with a particular profile, then these people can edit it. By the same token, we have groups set up for read-only, and let's look at that one. And in this case, it's just David So. He's a manager, a customer service manager, and so he should be able to view anything, but he can't edit anything. Okay, that's pretty interesting. So we have these SharePoint groups that are set up, and we also have different groups that give you access to the various systems underneath this site. Now let's take another quick look while we're here. And you'll see over here that we have the app installed within this site. Okay, so when we install it, it's actually living underneath this site called xRM Enterprise. Let's go into that app again. So here I am back and looking at profiles again, and we'll look at the Alan S profile. You'll see now how I've used that. Now let's go ahead and add one. Let's pretend we were going to create a new profile just to see sort of how all that works. So go to Profiles, and this is only available to certain users in the system. And I can create a new group. Now if I type in part of the name, you'll see I have the groups that show up here, right? So it filters for you. It's looking for specific SharePoint groups in the team site above the app. And that's how it kind of works. Let's type in Brad. Okay, let's type in South. So you can see it's just looking and filtering based on the groups that are available up above. So you create groups and give them different permissions up in the SharePoint site above it, and then you apply those groups using this association in a security profile. So let's go see how this works. Let's go on back now that you have a little better understanding and look at Alan Steiner. He's logged in. And let's look at his opportunities. And we're going to notice a couple things. We get into the list of opportunities. We're going to take note of some names of the opportunities that he can see. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to log in as a person with Brad's profile. Just I'll log in as Brad S in this case. So opportunity 53, 488, 544, etc. Right? But if you notice, it's all Amy and Alan here. Okay. Now let's pop over. Actually, probably the easiest thing to do is I'm just going to log out here, and I'll log back in as Brad. So let's log out. And I'm now going to log back in. And this time I'm going to come in as Brad. And I'll supply the password. And now when I come into the system, I'm logged in as Brad. I'm going to pop into the app now. And I want to take a look now at what I see when I look at opportunities and accounts as Brad. So take just a moment here. Okay, so it looks like just upon first glance I have tasks and opportunities, and that makes sense because I'm logged in as Brad. But let's look at the accounts and take a look at the security profile that we see and the usernames that are the owners in that list of accounts. So if you take a look, it's Diane and Brad, and all the profiles here are Brad. So you see what it's doing. It's automatically filtering out all of the Alan S profile accounts in this list. And it's actually doing a lot more than that. We're leveraging the permission capabilities in SharePoint, and so this also takes effect as far as what you see when you do a search. I know for a fact that there's a company called ABC Lock and Key. So if I do a search as Brad, when I do a search in the system, nothing comes up, right? Let's go ahead now and log back in as Alan, and then I'm going to do a search for ABC again and see what comes up. So just bear with me a second while I do that. I'm going to go ahead and log out and then log back in. And this time I'll log in as Alan, or I could log in as Amy. And actually, let's do a little different thing. Let's log in as David So, because he can see everything, but he can't edit. That would be interesting to see. So let's do that now. I'm going to log in as David So, who is a manager in customer service. And I'll supply the password again. Okay, now I'm in as David So, as you can see here. And let's go into SideKick now, logged in as this user. And I hope you're finding this interesting to see how all these different security profiles work. So I'll come in, and the first thing I'll notice is, of course, no tasks or opportunities assigned to him. Let's look at his account list. And what you'll see is that he sees everything. He is seeing both Alan S profile items and Brad S profile items because he's a member of the read group of both of these profiles. Now let's come into one of these items and we can edit it sort of a different way here. This time we can either view it. Now notice he has no edit capability here. Let's try and edit it this way. And remember, he has not been given rights to edit, so we would expect him not to be able to edit. And of course he can't. So he has view-only access to all of the items in the system. And that's probably pretty common for someone that's in management. You want them to see everything but not be able to edit it. And let's look for ABC and see what happens when he searches for it. And you'll see here that there's a quote for this person. There's also a task for this as well. And so you can see that he is able to see things that Brad could not see because based upon his credentials in the profile. Now I put the space in, of course, he's going to see the ABC Lock and Key account information, all kinds of things come up, a check, etc., right? So I'm showing you here that the permissions in SharePoint are taken over. They are limiting who can see various things within the system. And this is really very handy stuff because it's going to be able to let you tailor the system for districts, sales areas. You can do this for, say, product lines. You could set up a number of different companies within a given instance of SharePoint and SideKick. So it gives you an awful lot of flexibility to expand on the app and what it can do. And again, I showed you how you create these. You just create a new profile, and when you go in and create something new, David can't in this case. Let's see if I still have that admin opened up. I think this was the admin. Let's see if I can make an account here. I will quickly find out when I see who is logged in. So there I am, the admin, and you can see here that I can pick different profiles when I have the perfect, when I have the correct credentials to do that. And that's how I set it as I'm setting it up, and I can change these at any time if I have the right permissions. Okay, so I hope that gave you a good understanding of permissions and how they work in SideKick365 xRM Enterprise. A lot of our customers were asking for this, and it gives you a lot of flexibility and capabilities on how you can set the system up when you have, let's say, more complex sales teams, and you have different regions and divisions, and you have teams of people working together. You can set up so teams of people can see each other's activities, see each other's accounts, contacts, etc., and then also limit who can see those. All right, well, this is Dave Chenault with Skylight Systems. I hope you found this interesting and informative. And if you have any questions, email us at info@skylightsystems.com. That's SKYLITESYSTEMS.com. Thanks again for your time.